Medical inventions are everywhere, even when we do not notice them, and they stay close to people during the whole life in a quiet and steady way. They are present in hospitals, in small rooms, and in homes, and they support people from the first moment of life to old age without noise or attention. Many people live surrounded by medical inventions every day, but they rarely stop to think about how much these inventions shape daily life in calm and silent ways. In very early times, people did not understand the human body, and pain and illness were normal parts of everyday life. Many people became sick without knowing the reason, and many people died very young because there were no clear ways to help the body recover. Illness had no clear meaning, and healing had no clear rules, so people explained sickness through belief, fear, and stories passed from one generation to another. Healing was closely connected to nature and tradition, because these were the only sources people trusted at that time. Healers used plants, herbs, water, heat, cold, and rest, and they tried to reduce suffering with the tools they had and the knowledge they shared. Some methods helped the body feel better, while others caused harm, but people could not clearly see the difference, because understanding was limited and experience was small. Searching for relief was part of survival, and healing was not about control, but about hope and endurance. Even when methods failed, people continued to try, because doing nothing meant accepting suffering as part of life. Medicine at this time was slow, uncertain, and deeply human, shaped by daily struggle and repeated loss. Over time, people began to watch the body more carefully, and observation became the first real step toward medicine. Wounds, fever, weakness, and recovery were noticed and remembered, and patterns slowly appeared through repeated experience. The body showed that it had its own rhythm and strength, even when people could not explain it clearly. This early knowledge did not live in books or schools, but in memory and daily life, and it moved slowly from one generation to another. Medicine did not grow quickly, but it grew steadily, shaped by time, repetition, and shared experience. Small details mattered, because they returned again and again in human life. A major change happened when people started to believe that illness has physical causes, not only spiritual or hidden ones. This idea slowly changed how doctors looked at the body, and fear began to lose its strong control over healing. The body became something real and visible, something that could be studied with patience and care. Blood, bones, organs, and wounds became important areas of attention, and medicine slowly moved away from belief alone toward observation and simple treatment. This shift did not happen suddenly, and it did not happen everywhere at the same time, but it marked a clear new direction for medical thinking. Early doctors had few tools, but they used careful attention to understand the body better. They listened to breathing, felt the skin, and watched movement and color, because every small sign could show something important. Understanding grew slowly, not through quick answers, but through long and patient observation. Simple medical tools later helped doctors see more clearly, even though these tools were basic and limited. Listening to the heart showed rhythm, and listening to breathing showed inner problems. Measuring body temperature showed changes during illness, and these signs helped doctors understand the body with more clarity and calm. Pain remained one of the greatest limits in early medicine, because many treatments caused strong suffering and fear. Surgery was rare and dangerous, and many people avoided doctors because pain often meant death. Medicine was still held back by fear and the body's response to pain. The discovery of anesthesia slowly changed this situation because pain could be reduced and controlled during medical work. Doctors could work longer and more carefully, and patients could survive operations that were impossible before. Medicine entered a new stage where progress became possible without constant fear. Cleanliness also became an important change in medical care because doctors slowly learned that infection caused many deaths. Clean hands, clean tools, and clean rooms reduced suffering and saved lives, even without complex machines. Medicine became not only about treatment, but also about protection and care. In modern times, medical inventions became a natural part of everyday life, and many people no longer see them as something special. Medicine moved from rare moments of danger into daily routine, where it works quietly and steadily. People visit doctors not only because of strong pain, but also to understand small changes in the body before they grow into serious problems. Hospitals slowly changed their role because they became places of treatment and recovery instead of places of fear and waiting. Rooms became cleaner and safer, and medical tools became more precise and controlled. Doctors could help people earlier, and early care often gave the body more strength to heal and return to balance. Medical machines began to observe the body in a careful and constant way, showing heart rhythm, breathing, and other signs of life. These machines did not replace doctors, but they supported attention and understanding. Changes inside the body could be seen earlier, and this reduced sudden loss and uncertainty for patients and families. Medicine also changed how people live long lives, because old age became more common and visible. In the past, many people did not reach old age, but now longer life became part of normal experience. Medicine began to support not only survival, but also stability and comfort over many years. Pain control continued to improve, and medicine learned how to reduce suffering without stopping daily life. Pain became something that could be managed over time instead of something that controlled every moment. This change improved daily experience quietly, without noise or strong attention. Children's health changed strongly with modern medical care because early protection became normal and expected. Vaccines and regular care helped children grow stronger and safer. Families worried less about sudden illness, and childhood became calmer and more stable. Care during pregnancy also became more careful and supportive because doctors learned how to watch the health of both the mother and the child. Small signs could be noticed early, and birth became safer over time. Many lives were protected through patience, attention, and quiet medical work. Medical inventions entered homes more deeply, and healthcare became part of daily life outside hospitals. Thermometers, simple medicine, and basic tools became common objects. People could observe their health at home and better understand changes in the body without fear. Chronic illness became a visible part of modern life because people lived longer with conditions that did not disappear. Heart problems, breathing problems, and weakness became part of everyday care. Medicine helped people live with illness instead of fighting it every day. Recovery after illness also changed because rest and movement became part of healing. The body needed time, balance, and support. Recovery was no longer only waiting, but a slow process guided by care and attention. Prosthetic limbs continued to improve, and they became lighter and easier to use over time. People could move more naturally and return to daily activities. Independence became stronger even after serious injury, and dignity remained part of life. Medical inventions also helped people see and hear better, which changed communication and connection. Glasses helped people see clearly, and hearing devices helped people hear voices again. Isolation became smaller, and daily interaction became easier and calmer. Surgery became more careful and controlled, because tools became smaller and more precise. Doctors could work with less damage to the body, and recovery became gentler. Fear around surgery slowly became weaker. Medical education became longer and deeper because knowledge continued to grow. Doctors studied more years and learned to understand complex systems inside the body. Medicine became more detailed, but also more careful and responsible. Emergency care became faster and more organized because ambulances carried trained people and medical tools. Help could arrive quickly in critical moments, and time became very important. Fast care often meant survival. At the same time, medicine remained imperfect because illness, pain, and death still existed. Medical inventions did not remove these realities, but they reduced suffering and gave time. Medicine did not promise perfection, but it offered support when life became fragile. In daily life, medical inventions often stay invisible because they blend into routine. People visit doctors, take medicine, and return to their normal day. Care becomes part of life without drawing attention. Medical inventions work silently in the background, without asking to be seen. They do not change life in one moment, but slowly over many years. Each small improvement adds stability and safety. Medicine continues to grow through experience, because each generation learns from the one before. Knowledge moves forward carefully and without noise. Progress becomes steady instead of sudden. Medical inventions stay close to people, not above them. They walk beside life, supporting it in weak moments and protecting it in danger. They do not control life, but they help it continue. And in this way, medical inventions remain part of human life, day after day and breath after breath, always near, always working, always present in silence.